What's going on? It's GD Marble and welcome back to How to Demon! Except this time it's How to Extremon! So what is Extreme Demon icon? Extreme Demon icon. Do we see that? Is it here? Hope it's here. Throw it up. Welcome to How to Extremon, guys. This is an extension of the series How to Demon. Today's gonna be Cataclysm. Today is my second extreme, my first non-circles extreme, which is how it made it into this video. And I'm excited to bring you this level, and I never thought I was gonna beat this. I remember back in my days of beating Stereo Madness, Hexagon Forest, all those old levels that I was like, how am I even doing this? I looked at Kata, I was like, that is impossible. Before we jump into it, I'm gonna remind you, the GD Marble Discord community has gone through a little bit of a change. We've changed our server to a different server. I've merged with another server so that I can focus on the channel while the owner I merged with can focus more on the moderation and the Discord community, so we can have a happy Discord community, we can have a happy GD Marble channel. Link is in the description. Please join the new Discord server if you're either not a part of the GD Marble community at all yet, or if you are in the old server and haven't seen the announcement about that. So, with that being said, let's jump into Cataclysm here, guys. All right, we are here at Cataclysm, and you see that 100%, which I am so happy that this exists, that I have this 100% on this level, but we shouldn't waste any time. Let's jump into the tutorial. So, we start off here with an easy cubing section. Obviously, nothing too bad here, but I'm gonna pause right here and talk about what just happened there and why that is the way that I went. There are 3 coins in this level. I went with all 3 coin paths. The reason I did so was because, in my opinion, I believe even in a small way for a couple of the coins and in a big way for the second coin, it makes the level easier and more consistent in the long run. So I highly recommend getting all 3 coins. I'll show you where they are. I'll tell you why they're more consistent. I got all 3 coins, and that's the first one. So like you saw, the first one is here. All you do is hold the button. You just have to hit this blue orb just past that spike. You can hit the spike, but if you wait a little bit, you hit the blue orb, and you just hold the button through until you hit that yellow jump pad. I just think it's more consistent than coming down here and having to hit 2 orbs instead of just one kind of timed orb, you know, and then this can get all messed up or whatever. But yeah, just do the 1 click and you get there. And now we get to the wave. This is considered the hardest part of the level. I think it is the hardest part of the level. I did beat down base before this, so this part was actually more consistent for me than it might be for some other people. But it's still a tough part, and we'll talk about how I managed to do it. So as soon as you jump in here, you just want to start waving, 3 wave clicks there, and then when we get here, I recommend forming a click count so you know how many counts you do before the first portal, before the second, before the third, because it will just make it more consistent. You'll always do the same thing. You can practice it the same way, and because of that, get more consistent and more reliable in these parts because you know the number of clicks you're already going to do. You just have to execute them. So for here, I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. That's it. That's as simple as that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And then we get up to this next section. This next section is, in my opinion, the hardest part of the level, not just because it's so tight, but also because it's very hard to give you really tips on it. There's no trick to it. It's just tight wave, and you just need to practice and be able to flow through it. It's 3 tough wave sections, so it's just practice. It really is just practice. Just sit here and do this until you can do it 5 times in a row. The 5 times in a row rule is works very well for harder levels. Do that section or do the whole first wave 5 times in a row, 3 times in a row, and you'll probably be consistent enough to really be playing purposeful attempts from 0. And then this part also, I don't like this part here. I die here a lot there. I died at 13 a lot more than even the first 3 clicks. But it's just a matter of flow. 1, 1, you know, you just want to make sure you know what you're doing here. And then when you get up to here, into the green portal, it's just a 1, 2 here. A bad checkpoint, but 1, 2. You get the idea. Just up, down, and then you go here. And then before you get into this auto, you have to do another click. I recommend doing 2 clicks. You can do either 1 click like that, but I found that somehow I would always miss a little early or go too high or something like that. So instead I do 1, 2. You don't have to do 1, 2. You might actually be more consistent with 1 now that I think about it. But either way works. So we get to the auto here. We hit this orb. Believe it or not, I have a trick on that orb. Hit that orb low. Do not hit that orb immediately, because you look at this. I'm gonna show you this. Ready?
You can hit this orb high like this, and then you fall into the ship part. And if you fall into the ship part, it can be harder. And actually, the auto is working a certain way. Every time you enter the auto, it will be a slightly bit different. That's why they have the portals right there, just in case you come out of the auto with a wave going up or down. So even though I'm hitting this early, it's still dropping my ship down well. But sometimes if you hit that orb super early, it will bring your ship into the middle of that 3x portal, and then your ship won't be able to hit the ground first, which will make it less consistent because your ship will be in a different orientation. So I recommend hitting it a little late so that you can always hit the ground when you go into the ship portal. And then once you go into the ship, here's my click pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There'll still be a couple attempts there, but that's the click pattern. I would say just watch what I just did right there to make sure you know how to do it. That is not necessarily going to work every single time, but you have a click count. It's going to help you be more consistent. You're going to be like, okay, I got 4 clicks. I'm going to do these 4 clicks, and I'm going to get up to here, and I can practice that, and it's always that same number of clicks, so I will be more consistent. Making ways to make yourself get consistent at harder stuff is how you're going to be able to beat something like Cataclysm. So that's my click pattern for that. You can use a different one, but that what I recommend. Every once in a while I'll do an extra click or not, but that is the recommended click pattern in my opinion. So when I get here, what I do is 1, 2, 3, like this, so I can get myself straightened out, maybe even a 1, 2 if you want to do that instead. But usually after I'm straight flying, going into the portal, I end up doing like a 1, 2, 3 click just to make sure I'm straight through the transition. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, so that's my click pattern for that. I found that maximizes consistency, maximizes reliability, while minimizing random spamming. Random spamming in levels is the worst thing that you can do to practice a level if the part doesn't require random spamming. There's obviously a couple parts in levels that will require you to randomly spam or just spam super hard that you can't control. But if you can control your wave instead of just spamming it, or your ship instead of just spamming it, then you will be more consistent. So again, I'll show you again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Actually 2 clicks there. I did 1 even though I said 1, 2. But you get the idea. I would just watch that click pattern, make sure you understand it. And in my opinion, that works most of the time. I rarely died at that wave part because I kept that consistency. So here, let's get into the ball. So the ball, I'll just do the click pattern and talk about it like I did the other parts. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, let's talk about that. Obviously, most of the ball is pretty simple. The only thing I really want to touch on are the last 2 orbs. If you see those last 2 orbs that I had to hit before I put the last checkpoint, those 2 orbs, in my opinion, were quite difficult to do, especially when I started Kata, because of how they're close together. It's a really tight double click. And before, what I would do, I'll show you, is I would do this. Wait, let me get there. I would just try to do 1, 2, 3, 4. I would just try to click this really fast starting from this portal and see how I'm getting early. And sometimes you get through, but not always. And then you get all over the place. And I was like, well, that's tiring my finger because I'm doing 4 really fast clicks and I'm not even hitting the orbs. So I decided I need to make sure that I give myself an ability to relax and then do a really fast double click. So that's why I did 1, 2, 1, 2. So 1, 2, 1, 2. So then I can do 2 slower clicks, get into the double click. I highly recommend make sure you do that part like that. It will make it more consistent. I guarantee it. Trying to reduce the amount of really fast clicks you have to do in succession will always keep your finger energetic and keep it from tiring out. So I would recommend doing it like that. And then moving on here, we got the speed change ball. The speed change ball is hard because it's hard to get a rhythm, but at least there is some kind of rhythm I can show you. The first 6 clicks have some kind of rhythm. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. See, look at that. That is a rhythm right there. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. I would just look at that again, get that rhythm, and that's probably the best you can do there. It's still a hard part. I died at this part many times, more times than you probably think. For a part that doesn't look that bad, it still is annoying. I'll do it one more time. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. I died. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. There we go. And then after that, you just hit this orb and jump. You can hit it, if you hit it too early, you can hit the bottom there, what I just did twice. So just try to just hit it normally, and it should work out fine. And then you just 1, 2, and then you're going to go down here, and then you get in the UFO. Now the UFO is straightforward. I'll just show you what you should click. There's only one part that's a little confusing that I'll talk about. So 1, 2, I'll just kind of count it out. 1, 2, 1, 1, and then here. Here, at first I was confused. I thought maybe 1 click from the blue and then 1 click into the yellow, but it really works best if you do a double click out of the blue portal, then you go 1, 2, from the yellow portal. So let's show you how I do it. This became really consistent after a little bit of practice compared to any of the other ways you could possibly focus on this part. So 1, 2, 1, 2. There we go. See? Just like that. Pause the video, go back if you want to see that again. 1, 2 out of the blue, 1, 2. That's it. Then you're in this part, the straight fly. This part with the straight fly is considered one of the hardest parts of the level. There is going to be hard, okay? Let's get it out there, especially on 60 hertz. It's going to be hard, but you can make it a little bit more consistent. I'll show you how I did it. And that's by this first big ship through that straight fly. You let your big ship drop a tiny bit because the straight fly is a little bit below where you come out of that section. You do 3 big ship clicks, and then you'll straight fly out of the yellow, meaning out of the mini yellow portal. See, look at that. 1, 2, 3, and then straight fly. And I missed it right there. So you can still die here, because it's hard. Look at that. See, so that's what I did. 1, 2, 3, and then straight fly. And I'll still die there. You saw me die there like 4 times. But the thing is, doing only 3 clicks for the big ship will make it so that after practicing a bunch, you'll gain a consistency where you'll always generally enter that mini ship upside down portal in the same orientation, in the same click sequence, so that you can go 1, 2, 3, and then right into a straight fly, and at least more often than not straighten yourself out. I did die here, of course, but when I was actually in the heat of playing this level and super consistent, I died here much less than you'd think. I actually died more at these orbs, which you can just either tap them like this, but I just found that very inconsistent. So what I did is I just held the button, click and hold, click and hold, click and hold, click and hold, and click and hold. That might work too. It's either tapping or holding. Either one works. Just kind of figure out which one's best for you. So here we go to the next part. Start with the yellow part. Yellow orb right there. You want to hit it late. You got to hit it late, and then it's just a rhythm after that. I'm just going to kind of do the whole thing through the piano part from here, and I'll just show you where I'm clicking, and then you should figure out those timings. It's a pretty easy part once you know where to click. The only hard part about this, in my opinion, is the first couple of jumps. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 1. And then so you can just look at that and look at the click pattern I just said, and that will help you determine really quickly how to get that part done. Now, piano part. Pretty simple. Actually, it's only memory. This part is one of the easiest parts of the level gameplay-wise if you just know what to do. So I'll show you. So you start with 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. A little bit later on that one. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then you get to here. And then there's a very simple part that like takes a good few percent out of this piano part just with a click count. So let me get there real quick. To get there, all you have to, you just go 1, 1, 1. That's pretty simple and straightforward. And then here you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 at these next 8 clicks. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's just doing that. There's no in between clicks. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 at those parts. And there's orbs and pillars anywhere, but just doing that click pattern works every time. And you just have to go practice that even in a little bit, in a couple seconds. You'll be like, okay, this feels smooth. I know where to go now. And then here, of course, you go 1, 2, 3. And then when you get in this UFO, you're going to jump. And there's going to be 2 orbs, pink orb, blue orb. The pink orb, you can go too early and miss it. I've done that before. I've done that many times. Just make sure you're waiting, hitting the pink orb, and then hitting the blue orb not too early so you don't accidentally go high too quickly and miss the column. So here it's just jump, jump, jump. And then you're in here, it's just 1, 2, down, up. And then all you have to do with this part looks confusing. All you have to do is hit that yellow orb, auto part until the ship at the a percent later. So hit the yellow orb and then 1, 2. That's it. All you have to do. And then when you get out of this, simple memory. Watch. Jump off that column and then click down there. And that's all you have to do with that part. All you have to do. We get to the ship part. Now for the ship part, it's hard. Okay? I died here a bunch of times. It took me, this my opinion is probably the second hardest part of the level, this whole ship part, and like a little bit easier than the wave, but it's still hard. So just, you're gonna have to get used to straight flying. This is the big test because it's hard for me to give you tricks. Obviously in 60 hertz, the only trick I can give you is instead of trying to just like straight fly like this and you'll be all over the place, just gotta just do nice even clicks like that. That's always a 60 hertz straight fly trick for me, in my opinion, because that's just, you can still straight fly pretty well, but you can keep it nice and even and avoid having to spam all over the place, and then just 60 hertz, it's very hard. So I mean, above that, I still recommend just for this part, because you're going to be tired, this kind of click pattern is better than just kind of getting here and just spamming, because then you just lose your control really quick, and then like it's all over the place. So just nice and easy, and that part's a little bit hard to drop into, but you just have to practice through it a little bit, and you'll get like the feeling of where you should be dropping. And you know, it's just a couple clicks here, you hit the top, and then here you just want to come out, couple clicks, go down. You can guide yourself down. On 60 hertz, it's actually a little easier to do that part because I don't know, it just seems to go down through nice and smoothly. But either way, it's still pretty easy. And then when we get here, here's the final coin that we're gonna talk about. Because if you don't get the coin here, you have to go through the spikes on the top and bottom. And what you have to do is you have to first of all do that. You have to do this whole thing, which is very annoying. And then you have to bring yourself up into that straight fly. It's much easier to just go into here, the center here. You go in the center here. And there's a coin here, of course, when you are playing the level. I'm in practice mode. And that's so much easier because you just do one click to get up there, and then you straight fly right out of it, and it's much smoother. Look, straight fly out of it, not too bad. It's still hard, but it's not as hard. And then you just have to make sure you bring yourself here and then go up. And don't be too afraid to go nice and high there. You want to make sure you get up into those spikes, and the ship will usually curve down just enough and not kill you there. And I do this part cleanly through, please? Yeah, there we go. Couple clicks there, it's all you need. And then we get to the last wave. Last wave, all I can say is this. This wave's not that hard for me. Because when I played it, like I said, I'd already done down base and stuff. But if this wave stresses you out or is hard, it is at least stressful. I died here once. If it's hard, you want to just, at the parts where you have to do a lot of little clicks, you might want to get a click count. Make sure in this certain corridors you only do 4 clicks, you only do 5 clicks. I did not make that. I didn't need to do that for myself, but you can work that out if you want to. And I kind of just, you know, spammed a little bit to get myself ready, and then nice and easy, up and down, nice and easy. Oh, I died. Which can happen, by the way, because you can just, you know, misjudge a little bit and you're dead. I mean, like, it's not hard, but it's not easy. Spam a little bit there, nice and easy, and then here we go into the last coin. I'm going to talk about this last coin. It doesn't seem necessary. It seems super easy after here. What could you use the last coin for? But when I was practicing, there was like one time that I had just the orbs get all late on me or something, and I ended up dying, not getting the coin in the regular route. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get the coin so it's more likely to be consistent. And I'll show you how I died if you want to get scared. 1, 2, 3. See, look at that. If you do things too late, you can easily die there. So I recommend just going 1, 2, 1, 2. Boom. There's a hidden orb in that blue portal. Just practice it a little bit. You're gonna get the coin. You're gonna be fine. And then there you go. You beat Cataclysm with all 3 coins, except for this last straight fly. Yes, it's annoying. Yes, you could die here. Yes, it's not fun. But there's a way to make sure you're a little bit more consistent in how you prepare for it. Instead of just coming out here and spamming like this and then, oh no, I died because I'm bad. You want to try to just make sure you're consistent and calm how you set yourself up. So I would just say come out of here and go 1, 2, and then straight fly like that. Boom. 1, 2, straight fly. Or maybe 1, 2, 3, straight fly. Something just where you're not straight flying with this crazy spam straight fly beforehand. You just want to like set yourself up with some calm clicks to get nice and even and towards the gap, and then get right into it. So that's going to wrap up Cataclysm. Hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Please leave a like, please leave a sub, please leave all that stuff in the description. Read the description, leave a sub, leave a like, notification bell. I don't even know, dude, the YouTuber stuff. But I'm not even done with the video. We got a couple more things coming up here. First of all, we got a level review. Let's start with gameplay, or gameplay, whatever you want to call it. 9 out of 10 for me. And that's going to come as a surprise to a lot of people. But I really do think the gameplay in this level flows well. It's unique. There's a lot of structuring and movement that you don't really see in many other levels. I think for its time when this level was built and came out and was the hardest demon for its time, or the second hardest demon, it's a very, very well-structured level. It's the first really extreme demon. It's the first demon that really pushed itself into being extreme and really having dynamic gameplay with all the game modes of its time. So it does deserve a 9 out of 10 in my opinion. I love a lot of the gameplay parts. They flow really well. They're intense, yes, and it tires you out, but they do flow well. I love the piano part. I love the first wave is actually really interesting. I love the slow ship part and the use of the mirror portal. It's pretty good, and the transitions in and out of that are nice. And I think it is a pretty well-made level. Music sync is gonna get a 9 out of 10. This music sync is very, very good. The speed changes are very, very well with the music. The game mode choices are pretty well with the music. it just uses the right game modes, the right speed, the right visuals, the right feeling at the right times in this level. And it does sync really well. It doesn't click sync. It is not that 10 out of 10 amazing click sync, visual sync, everything firing at every cylinder. But the actual sync and feel of the level, you feel like you're really playing the song. You feel like you're really playing what At the Speed of Light would be as a level, in my opinion, when you play Cataclysm, as opposed to any other At the Speed of Light level, in my opinion. So this really knocked it out of the park, in my opinion, in music sync. Visual appeal, it's a healthy demon, but it's one of the first ones, and actually I think it still flows really well visually. I love the piano part. I like the dual ship part. I like some of the beginning parts. I like the ball part where it has a somewhat of a circle-y type effect at the ball. Not really circle-y, but you know what I'm saying, as that concentric flashing of sorts. So I think I gave it a 7 out of 10 for visuals. I feel like that is fair for the visual aspect. Uniqueness, my opinion, 8 out of 10 still. Just a unique level, like I said, for its time, amazing level. First Extreme, really, or second Extreme, when it finally came out, it was great. For that, it had just, it was one of the first few collabs. I believe this is a collab. If it's not a collab, then I'm wrong. So I'm sorry if this is not a collab, but at least think it was worked on by more than one person. I don't actually remember. But this inspired Bloodbath, this inspired Aftermath, this inspired so many Health Team demons. It just brought a whole new look to the game. And the other part of uniqueness that I want to talk about this level real quick is how it benchmarks Extreme Demons. In my opinion, because of that first wave, because of that wave that really pushes you in tightness and consistency, compared to any insane demon that may have some hard gameplay, but it's just not as intense, and then pushes you in some intense gameplay towards the end. I feel like Cataclysm is even with the Extreme Demons getting to Tartarus and whatever, I think Cataclysm will always be that benchmark for Extreme Demon. I never want to see it drop below Insane. And I think every demon harder or equal to Cata should be Extreme or higher, and every demon below Cata's difficulty should be Insane. I kind of see it as that benchmark, and because of the precedent it's set in difficulty, and because of that new difficulty kind of brought into the game, and actually coined, Supersonic coined the phrase a little Extreme Demon, but this helped coin that phrase and stick it, Extreme Demon. It gets 8 out of 10 in uniqueness. So yeah, that's going to wrap it up for the level review. That gives a 33 out of 40 for this level, and anything in the 30s is really good for a level, so I do generally like Cataclysm. Like I said, I'm very proud to beat this demon and put this on in my arsenal, and I can't wait to beat more awesome Extreme Demons. Bloodbath and Aftermath probably will come at some point in the future. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up. We're going to end with the completion, guys. I hope you enjoy the reaction, I hope you enjoy the gameplay, and I hope you are able to beat Cataclysm on your own and benefit from the lessons and tips in this tutorial. Thank you guys, and I will see you next time in How to Extremon, or whatever his name is. Ba-da-ba-dum-bum. Come on, don't do this. Yes! I beat Cata! Yes, I beat Cata! I beat Cata! Oh, it's over. I actually did it. Oh, yes, yes. Oh my God, it's over, man. 2 extremes, dude. I never thought I'd ever do this.
Oh, this feels so good. I did it. I did Cataclysm. Oh my god. I did it. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yes. Yes. Yeah, this is not a level that I'm gonna get up and dance around for like down bass.
I just beat down base! I just beat it! It's over! It's over!
But this is still awesome. Oh, it's my second extreme, man.